What's going on? What up, YouTube? Happy Memorial Day. Get some people in the room. Get some people in the room. See, we get some people in the room. What up, YouTube? Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I should have really flat ironed this before I came live. See if we get some people in the room. Where's Ken and Money Loke? All right, we about to get into it. Come join the live. Bye. All right. So we got the NAACP, and I'm going to get into the origins of the NAACP, which was funded and started by the Illuminati, by the Rothschilds. When the when the NAACP formed in 1920, it was only one black on the board, which was W.E.B. Du Bois. The rest of them was Jewish, and that was in response to. So they have always been black boule and gatekeepers of the Illuminati, and they have a lot of nerve to ask young black men to give up going to public schools and give up scholarships and boycott of black voting rights. Black people have not lost voting rights. You can still vote. What the Supreme Court ruled is that they can no longer racially make districts just because all black districts, voting districts. That's it. Ain't nobody lost no voting rights. That is some bullshit. They done scared the shit out of old black people thinking that they can't vote. Yes, the fuck you can go and vote. You can go. Hey, Ken. You can go and vote. You ain't lost nothing. And the nerve of these Negroes to ask young black men to give up their scholarships and their future because to boycott Southern voting right. You ain't lost shit. You ain't gonna give these kids $1 million deals. You're not gonna do anything life changing for these young black athletes. Not a damn thing. I wish the fuck if I had a son that was in the what do you call it? The shit, whatever that damn sports league is, whatever they was in, he ain't giving up shit to boycott shit because you ain't lost nothing. The NAAC has always been black gatekeepers of the Illuminati. Like I said, it was started by the Rothschilds. The only black that sat on that board was W.E.B. Du Bois. And when I found that out, because I praised W.E.B. Du Bois, but he was a gatekeeper for the Illuminati. Facts. Now, anyway, right. The fuck? Like you gonna give them multi-million-dollar contracts Like you gonna pay for them to go to school. You give scholar the NAACP, the NAACP does give scholarships, but it ain't gonna give no life-changing money to change your whole family out of poverty or whatever. Right, you can. That's the only thing they did was say you can no longer redistrict a community all black. You can't do that. That's all the fuck they said. The Supreme Court said. And they got Negroes out here thinking, hey, sugar, thinking that they can't vote, that they came against the Voting Rights Act. That is some bullshit. And it's a damn shame that black folk don't read or understand shit, it seemed like. But let's get into it. So what they launched was an out of bounds campaign asking top tier black student athletes to stop committing to state funded universities in southern states that are actively restricting black voting representation. You ain't asked the brown folk, you ain't asked them Latinos to give up their goddamn baseball scholarships. Oh, you the king of the stream? Okay, that's nice. You ain't asked them Latinos to give up shit. You ain't. What about the white folk? Oh, yeah, I forgot. They ain't got shit to do with us. But you want something that's life changing, generational wealth that could be created. You want our young black men, young black women to give up scholarships, multi-million dollar deals. That is insane. And you ain't did shit for us in 50, 60 years, and all you are is a gatekeeper. And I'm going to get back into the origins of the NAACP. Right, exactly. So, anyway, it's called Out of Bounds Campaign. The goal, the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus. And we got to stop voting for people because they black. You vote policy. Fuck that, because too many black people done fucked us up the ass and have not produced and done anything. No, I'm voting for policy because you black, you don't get, you just ain't gonna get my vote. Facts. Are organizing a boycott to hit the financial bottom line of major public universities and state passing laws that minimize black voting power. No, you want to keep y'all crooked ass in power. And you ain't did shit for black folks in 50, 60 years. Every city that has been run, other than Detroit, because, well, Detroit, we had a white mayor for a long time and Detroit bounced back. So now we got a black lady mayor. But I'm just saying, most Democratic cities up north are fucked up. Well, homelessness, drugs, crime, everything. But you go down south in red states, they cities ain't looking like Los Angeles, ain't looking like Chicago, ain't looking like Baltimore, ain't looking like Philly. Dope fiends just out there shooting up and all that. Kensington and Philadelphia, open drug market. MacArthur Park that the feds just busted in LA. The homelessness is LA. All these Democratic cities is fucked up the ass and they have black mayors. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to fucking say it. Exactly. Exactly, Ken. Exactly. Now, the campaign targets schools in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee. They are calling on high school recruits, current college athletes, fans, and alumni to withhold their talents and financial support from these schools and instead direct their athletic committees commitments and NIL, name, image, and likeness funds toward historically black colleges and universities. This is what AI is saying, because that is not what I heard. And it's okay to go to an HBCU. Exactly. Exactly, Ken. Civil rights leaders argue that universities cannot actively profit from billion-dollar labor of black athletes while remaining silent or complicit as states dismantle black political representation. No, you no longer have a permanent job. You're going to have to produce some tangibles for black folk to stay in office. That's what the fuck is happening here. You're going to have to produce some tangibles. We ain't voting for you just because you black. Them days over. And then you got the nerve to say for the SAVE Act, uh, voter ID is Jim Crow 2.0. Who the fuck here don't have no ID other than the illegal immigrants? They got fake shit. Who the hell don't have an ID? You can't get a job without an ID. You can't drive without an ID. I mean, who the fuck in you that born and raised and don't have an ID? This is insane. It's insane. They view this as a strategic economic lever to fight back against recent congressional redistricting efforts and anti DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, which is didn't earn it legislation. While the NAACP frames this as a necessary push for systemic change, the campaign has sparked a complex ongoing debate, right? Because y'all don't deserve it. You don't. What the fuck has the NAACP done lately for us? Right, exactly. Therapy ain't did shit. Critics argue that the NAACP is asking young teenagers and working class families to sacrifice massive, life changing economic opportunities. Didn't I just say that? I said that. And their professional futures for adult political fights. Exactly. Ain't gonna happen. Which the fuck? Somebody came to my son and said, we got $1 million, whatever contract. I wish, fuck the NAACP. Fuck y'all. The NAACP wants black teenagers to torch their scholarship for a redistricting fight. These kids were asked, the schools were consulted, and nobody is buying it. This is out of this is Virgil Walker. I have dropped my sons off at practice field at 6 in the morning. If you raise boys in the South, you know the ritual that defines football summer. 2 days a week, run through July with early practice at sunrise because the heat is already climbing, and the second practice after 6 in the evening when the field is still throwing back the day's temperature like an open oven. The drive home happens with windows down because the gear in the back seat is past the point of perfume. I watched my sons go through it. I watched the boys they play go through it. There was a young man from our area we knew, not Percy, who earned a scholarship to a major program. When his Saturdays came, we watched from a distance with a particular kind of attention. Anyway, I'm gonna get to the point. The NAACP, along with the Congressional Black Caucus, launched a campaign called Out of Bounds. The premise is that the organization disapproved of the blah blah blah. So let me get to the point. The NAACP is selling this campaign as a defense of voting rights. and that framing depends on the claim that needs to be challenged. What is actually happening is that the courts are correcting decades of redistricting that drew lines around majority black areas. The 14th and 15th Amendments do not guarantee racially sorted districts. That's a fact, and that's why they said it was illegal. They guarantee equal protection under the law and the right to vote regardless of race, which are not the same things at all. Y'all niggas ain't staying in power. No, the fuck you're not. Hakeem Jeffries, you need to get the fuck on. Maxine Waters, your ass need to sit down, bitch. Just sit down. You was good during the crack cocaine era. You was, and I love you, but you old, you're 85. Sit your ass down. At least Nancy Pelosi finally woke her old ass up, okay? If the district is going to be drawn on racial grounds, there has to be actual proof of present marginalization, not merely the demographic composition of an area or desire of advocacy organizations to preserve a seat. That's the fuck y'all want to preserve y'all seat, and you ain't did shit for black folk. All you did was defrauded, scam, and told us to go fuck yourself. Black people want tangibles for the vote. What the fuck are you gonna do for us? This matters because the entire moral weight of Out of Bounds campaign rests on the assertion that black voters are being silenced, which is a lie. Hey, Hard and Stormy. What is actually ending is the assumption. Oh, damn. Hold on. Hello? Hello? How you supposed to open the gas tank? Oh, look under the steering wheel. It's a thing and you pull it open. It got a fuel thing on it. Look under where the other things are. You'll find it. I don't know, but I'm live, but you'll find it. It's there. You see it? No. You pull the lever. It's under, look under the steering wheel by the door. It might be on the floor, but it's right there. It says yeah, you see it now? Okay. All right. No. I'm sorry, y'all. What is actually ending is the damn. It's the assumption that the NAA. Oh God. Hello? Yes, 87. Yeah. Damn, I got to tell him what kind of gas to put in the rental car. It's a regular car. Anyway. What is actually in is the assumption that the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus get to draw maps that are produce their preferred outcomes in black districts. That's what has ended. You gonna work for your vote now. This is not the same thing as disenfranchisement, and it's calling it disenfranchisement. It's a category error that happens to serve the people. It's not. It's not. Racism is not racism because someone with a microphone says it is. It has to be demonstrated with evidence by actual standards of the law. The civil rights tradition at its best understood this and produced the evidence that won cases in court because they were real. I just turned 60. I ain't never had a problem voting. Ever. My mama did. My grandmother may have. Her parents may have. And so forth and so on. I show my fucking ID, I vote. The current campaign skips that step and goes directly to mobilizing teenagers to give up their future, to mobilize as a way of making the case unnecessarily. And this is some bullshit. Do they understand what the NIL means to families? It is life changing, getting some families out of poverty to a whole new producing generation. Look, I wish the fuck my kids would give up something like that for a lie. For a lie. The NIL is not just earning a free education, it's earning a paycheck. For a lot of these young men represents the largest income their families have ever seen. The money is paying rent, catching a mortgage, buying the grandmother a car that starts in the morning, praying for younger brother's tutor, keeping the lights on in the house where the lights used to flicker every time the bill came. Right. Y'all got a lot of damn nerve to ask that of teenagers, of black families. When the last time they paid somebody light bill, bought them a car? They do give scholarships, but they ain't giving 4-year scholarships, I don't think. NIL is not a luxury for families. For a sizable share of black athletes at major programs, it is the first real generational income that they ever produce. I just said that. The NAACP is asking that young men to walk away from that money. You out your rabbit ass mind. The campaign is not just asking teenagers to forfeit an education, which will already be a serious task. It is asking him to forfeit the income that is currently feeding his family, paying his mother's bills, giving his siblings a stability the family may not have known. All in exchange for a political fight that they don't have shit to do with. The same organization that spent decades telling black families they were being economically exploited to now telling those same families to volunteer to give up generational wealth and an education. Y'all out y'all rabbit ass mind. For real. That's some bullshit. All right, we about to get into some videos. Hold on, I'm cooking too, so hold on a moment. Mm. Well, my green beans done. Y'all like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Now let's get into the origins of the NAACP. Like I said, it was funded and started by the Rothschilds in 1909. The only black that sat on the NAACP board was W.E.B. Du Bois. NAACP has never been nothing but a gatekeeper for the Illuminati. Facts. But we're going to get off into it because I want to get you more detail because that's what I remember off the top of my head. Okay, let me type this in. Cause this what? Oh shit. That's bullshit. That's not it. So it was funded by the Rothschild. Start. Oh shit. No, that ain't it. Damn, I wish I had. And they put these Jewish people in board. Henry Moskovich. The Jewish community contributed greatly to the NAACP. Julius Rosenwald, the founder and president of Sears, sat on the board. Rabbi Stephen Wise sat on the board when it was founded. Lillian Wall, these are all white Jewish people. Really? Did they really give a damn about black folk? I'm just saying. The only black on there, W.E.B. Du Bois. And then throughout the years, they brought in Ida B. Wells, Archibald Grimmick, and Mary Terrell. But at first, he was the only black on that board. Jewish activists play a massive role in both the financial backing and early leadership of the organization. Why? Because they can't stand us. I got a rabbi now when I start talking about them say blacks should be back in slavery. So I'm just saying. For instance, George Spiegel, a Jewish American professor, served as chairman of the NAACP in 1914 and actively recruited other Jewish leaders to the executive board. And y'all always thought this was a whole black gatekeepers of the Illuminati. Facts. The talented tips, the black boule. All right, let's get into these videos. And I'm going to talk about the SPLC too. The Southern Poverty Law Center paying KKK. The southern part. I'm going to do that. But I was going to do them together, but I'm not. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm not going to NAACP because this is my man Judge Joe Brown. Oh, please, can I have a moment to compose myself? They have gotten to be such a good comedy act. Facts. Unfortunately, they don't have a good stand-up comedian these days, but they make a good comedy act. Oh, NAACP. Oh. Well, last week, the Southern Poverty Law Center had 11 indictments come down on them. And so my question is the NAACP next? And I say that to say they went online defending Southern Poverty Law Center, right? Oh, no, we don't want this because we're not talking about that. Well, like I said, the black boule. Okay, here we go.
A fight between Ken Paxton. This is a shocking update regarding the NAACP and the Democrat Party. They're calling on black athletes, young men coming out of high school, going into college, to boycott their schools and their future. Also, Spencer Pratt is now being attacked for his AI videos. And
this is Davari Darkins.
Let's start with what Hakeem Jeffries had to say about this boycott. Take a listen. It's an honor to stand with members of the Congressional Black Caucus, as well as former athletes committed to this cause and getting this egregious situation turned around. This is an unprecedented moment featuring an unprecedented attack on black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
Black political representation. Y'all ain't did shit for black folk in 50, 60 years. Not a damn thing. Kamala Harris and Biden gave Asians a hate crime bill. Black folk couldn't even get that as much as we needed. Fuck y'all. That's how I feel. Kiss my ass.
We are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP and its call for athletes to boycott institutions within the SEC that belong to states that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics.
You have not lost you have the right to vote in the 14th and 15th Amendment. You have not lost anything. What the Supreme Court did was say you can no longer, it's illegal to have a all-black district where y'all keep y'all damn seats until you die and ain't did shit for your community. You're going to have to give us tangibles. You're going to have to give us something for the vote. You ain't going to no longer, we ain't voting for you just because you black. Your policy ain't been shit.
It's unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And we believe that the silence of these institutions is complicity. And we will not stand for it.
Exactly, therapy.
Exactly why this is such a ridiculous and most desperate move from Democrats, particularly now the NAACP, who is calling on athletes in the South to boycott not games, to boycott the school itself. I know, you heard me correctly. And here's the fascinating part. We go back to incentives that really drive a lot of this rhetoric. The NAACP is asking black 18-year-olds to sacrifice their scholarships, life-changing money, and potentially NFL or NBA pipelines so that older black activists can keep their leverage, even though they didn't earn it, by the way.
Facts. Facts.
Has to pay the price. Does Hakeem Jeffries have to pay that?
Right.
Does the president of the NAACP have to pay that? No. The athlete's going to pay it. The student's going to pay it. And when it doesn't work out for them because they boycotted the school, then what?
They get shit.
It's interesting how Democrats want to change everything, but they don't want to accept any consequences.
Facts.
Let's go to the president of the NAACP. Here's what he said. No representation, no revenue, no one black should be on a playing field of institutions that's living off of our labor, and yet in states that are seeking to reinstitute a sharecropping reality.
That is such a lie. Black folk have not lost the right to vote. You haven't lost it. You can vote. It's in your 14th, 15th Amendment. What the fuck? And y'all falling for this bullshit of these black boule gatekeepers of the Illuminati.
It is not the responsibility of Black America to hold individuals who should know better accountable for doing better. As soon as the United States Congress
Facts, therapy.
to ensure our Constitution represents all of us, we will be a better nation as a result. All right, so let's just read a little.
Well, that's bullshit because most of the Democratic cities that's run by us is fucked up. By the Democrats, it's full of drugs, poverty, crime, everything. Chicago, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. until Trump cleaned that shit up. Baltimore, all fucked up. All fucked up. No, we ain't voting for you because you black.
More about this. They're calling on states like Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and South Carolina as the potential states for the boycott to happen. They want black athletic talent to not show up to the schools because they think this is going to protect political interests. In fact, it's going to backfire, as I just went over. Now, I want to read some of these comments. For example, Malik nails it. Black man question mark. Quote, they aren't demanding students without athletic scholarships lead those same campuses. Professors aren't being told to resign. Only black male athletes are expected to forfeit their education, NIL earnings, and a shot at a professional career.
Right.
The NAACP this morning, in solidarity with the CBC, we are calling on athletes who are coming out of high school not to attend any state-funded school of states that have moved to minimize our right to vote, to minimize our ability to elect candidates of our choice, and states that are seeking to create a sharecropping reality. Whether that state be Missouri
All bullshit. Bullshit.
or Mississippi, whether that state is South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, or Florida. There are so many issues here. But I think the bottom line is this. They're using young black men as chess pieces. So what's really happening here? Well, I think it's safe to say that the NAACP president doesn't really care about black lives in the way that you are led to believe.
Facts.
They're treating young black men who are athletes coming out of high school as chess pieces. Instead of saying, focus on your future, focus on your education, focus on your career. No, focus on politics.
Right.
If you haven't already, please make sure you like this video, share the show with your friends and family, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Sometimes my video pops up on the front page, sometimes it doesn't. So if you want to make sure you're able to see the videos, hit that notification bell. All right, let's go to our next video. Spencer Pratt. Now he's catching.
Okay. Let me send this over to Spencer. Y'all vote for Spencer if you're in LA. I like him. He's shaking up Karen Bass. That's for real. He's shaking her ass right on up. Because she ain't did shit. Okay.
All right, so do you wonder what the EBT community is talking about today? Well, I took a look and I didn't like what I saw. Well, apparently they want all black athletes to boycott the SEC. Now, while I'm an Ohio State Buckeye and I hate the SEC with all my heart, I need you to know I hate the SEC. I don't understand.
Exactly, therapy.
Black who go to SEC school. It is not based on racism. The reason why I think now they want to pull all black athletes out the SEC and send them where? Ohio. All right, come on. Boycott the SEC is a horrible decision for any black athlete. I'm here to tell you, do not take advice from them. They're going to lead you down a path where you're going to miss out on a career, you're going to miss out on monetary gain.
Facts.
You're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, they think these boys give all about hope. These boys try to make it to the league, man.
Facts.
The heads on right. Y'all can continue to fight for the dumb shit y'all fight for. Nobody is taking your rights. But boycotting the SEC as a Big Ten fan and an Ohio State Buckeye through and through, I'm all for it. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys pulling up today.
This is a righteous perspective.
This is the stupidest thing that I have heard. These people are outrageous. If any of these washed up civil rights organizations think that these young kids are about to forego millions of dollars.
Facts.
And in some cases, maybe it's not millions, maybe it's hundreds of thousands of dollars for this washed up organization.
Right.
Nothing for black folks. Nothing for the black community. This is the same organization that told you to vote for Abigail Spanberger, out there in Virginia over Winsome Sears. So miss me with all of that. Miss me with it all, man. Seriously. All of these people out here telling these folks, hey, don't go to these schools and miss out on hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend or quote unquote protest, this washed up organization and these jacked up districts that are just pieces of what? Are you out of your mind? Anybody listening to these people, anybody still listening to the NAACP in 2026, you are hustling backwards.
Facts.
Lead you down a path of destruction.
Facts.
You would literally be missing out on generational wealth.
Facts.
By listening to these fools. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. In this moment when black representation is under attack, it is important for the CBC to keep in their tradition.
We ain't about to listen to that bullshit again.
So this right here just shows you that this is all they have. All they have is grievances. All they have is, to protest. This is it. Because you can't sue the Supreme Court.
Right.
This right here lets you know, ladies and gentlemen, that they are cooked. They're done. And the Congressional Black Caucus, they have done nothing. They've been a net negative for the United States of America. They've been a net negative for black people.
Facts.
In the United States of America. The NAACP has been a net negative for the United States of America and a net negative for American blacks in this country.
Facts.
Simple as that. So this right here just shows you that they're grasping for straws. They're done. No one's paying attention to this. And I will tell you this. Any parent out there, if you do have a D1 child, let them go to school. Let them go. These people are outrageous, man. They don't care about you. They do not care about you. You are just a useful idiot in their plot for power. Nothing more, nothing less.
So breaking news in response to the Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act, the NAACP has announced.
Ain't gutted shit. You still have the right to vote. All propaganda.
Now urging black athletes, football and basketball in particular, to withhold their commitments to schools in the South that have moved to quickly gerrymander, redraw their lines to dilute black votes. We've seen it happen in Tennessee, Louisiana, and they're moving toward that in South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, potentially elsewhere. The NAACP in its announcement says black athletes and recruits are asked to withhold their commitments from targeted programs to ask coaches and athletic directors where their universities stand on voting rights and to seriously consider HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities.
So you want them to go to HBCUs and miss out on hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That part.
Some of the most poorly ran universities out there.
Some of them.
HBCUs, more times than not, they are a hot mess. Outrageous. These are some of the most narcissistic, selfish, power-hungry individuals out there. Simple as that.
NFL send the Super Bowl to a Jim Crow state like Tennessee after what's going on here, intentionally diluting majority black Memphis with white power. I think we have to be clear that the only time they like black bodies are when they're entertaining them or when they're on a sports field. Boycott and encourage conventions to not come to Tennessee and to Louisiana and Alabama, telling people the vote's not going to work because it diluted the black vote. And so we have to think of more creative strategies to put a pressure point on them and to make it painful where it matters in economics.
Like I said, this is all they have. They're grasping for straws. So now you're upset that the NFL is bringing the Super Bowl to Nashville. Nashville, the Titans, they're building a new stadium. I believe it's going to be a dome, or at least one of those with a retractable roof, and that's another reason why they're getting the Super Bowl down there. Nashville, it is a red state, but it is booming. It is growing like it's nowhere.
Yes, it is.
So y'all would prefer the Super Bowl to be played in another blue state where the players can be taxed into oblivion, huh? That's your preference. These people are outrageous, man.
And WACP want black athletes to boycott the SEC schools. They want black fans not to support SEC
Sure ain't.
We are not boycotting football.
Sure ain't boycotting football.
And we're going to continue to send our kids to SEC schools. You know, good and well. South don't care about no black political interests. They don't care about that. I know we ain't boycotting no football. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee to protest police brutality, we still watch football. You think we're not going to watch the SEC on Saturdays? That's crazy.
Yeah, they are crazy. Think about this, man.
Facts.
You got a guy.
That shit is not gonna work. He from Detroit, and I like him. This is DeAndre Callaway.
Talking the last several weeks and days about the redistricting issue. We've been talking about the fear mongering. We've been talking about how people are in hysteria and protesting because they're under the impression that they've lost their right to vote. But at the same time, people are telling them to turn out in mass and vote, which is double talk and double speak. I've even seen a lot of my comments where people are defending the Democratic Party, even though they can see that the Democratic Party has been undermining upward mobility in the black community.
Facts.
By establishing a gatekeeper class.
Facts.
And the gatekeepers,
Didn't I say gatekeeper?
is becoming richer while your communities are becoming poor.
Facts.
Now, who would defend that? Who would defend false representation? Who would defend betrayal and even treasonous ideology that works against us? Unless you're confused. So on this channel, I highlight a lot of other voices and I do reactions. And I was looking at this brother on his channel. And he had a very interesting take that I think you should see about the gatekeeper class. You know, we like to call them the boule, the shields.
Didn't I say?
The divine nine who have made careers off of our trauma, off of our struggle.
Facts.
Off of taking us back to the civil rights movement while maintaining power for the Democratic Party, but keeping our communities impoverished and powerless. And you don't want to face it because you have an emotional connection to these individuals. You have an emotional connection to the tradition of King and Farmer and those old civil rights leaders who could not even imagine what we're dealing with today. Do you think they could imagine our communities being so violent that we're destroying each other? They didn't see this coming. They didn't see that we would become emotionally attached to a political party, so emotionally attached that it binds us to the reality of our own conditions, our own community, our own survival.
Facts.
And we would attack each other over truths. We see
Facts.
what our communities look like. We live
I
in
want to get to this.
emotional politics became profitable for black leadership. Outrage became profitable. Victimhood has become profitable. Political fear has become profitable for the black elite and black leadership. And too many gatekeepers learn how to monetize black anger without solving black problems.
Facts.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is David K. Jones here, and welcome to another edition of the Publisher's Desk, powered by Black Westchester Magazine, blackwestchester.com. We are the news with the black point of view, and the newspaper for Black America. And once again, man, we're here to have a discussion. And I'm going to start off. I know a lot of y'all guys that are watching, a lot of y'all brothers and sisters, a lot of white people too that watch, that want to hear the truth. But a lot of y'all have not subscribed to the channel. So please.
Like, share, subscribe, hit the like button, please.
We can keep the
Let me keep going.
fade away. And people are shocked.
Thank you, Therapy.
That benefit more from managing the dependency than building independence. See, that's the conversation nobody wants to have. Because the truth is, many of the loudest voices claiming to lead Black America have become deeply connected to political parties, corporate systems,
Facts.
approval, and institutional access. And once your paycheck, brothers and sisters, depends on a system, protecting the system becomes more important than freeing the people from dependence.
Come on.
Many people, I'm going to interject right there.
Come on.
Because we're seeing this.
Come on.
For Black America, that meant jobs, protection, economic opportunity, educational advancement, legal equality. But somewhere along the way, many organizations stopped acting like independent advocates and slowly became politically attached to one side of the political system. Because somewhere along the way, many organizations stopped acting like independent advocates and slowly became politically attached to one side of the political system. And once that happened, brothers and sisters, accountability weakened. Because if your organization is financially connected to political relationships, media access, government grants, corporate sponsorship, and party influence, eventually your survival becomes tied to maintaining those relationships.
Maintaining the status quo. Maintaining the status quo.
The civil rights organizations change. Now, instead of challenging power, many gatekeepers protect proximity to the power. Now, before people get emotional, let's stay logical. If Black communities continue to struggle with violence, educational decline, economic instability, poor health outcomes, and collapsing family structure, but gatekeepers continue defending the same systems producing those outcomes, then what exactly are they protecting? The people or their relationship
Facts.
to the system?
Facts.
See, one of the greatest mistakes we have done in Black America is that we confuse access with ownership.
Dad, when are we gonna finish?
Come on.
Almost done, son.
I can't live like this anymore, Dad.
Exactly, Therapy.
Is that we confuse access
Exactly.
with ownership. We fought to enter their corporations. We failed to build enough corporations ourselves. We fought for representation in the media, but we failed to build long, independent media systems ourselves. We fought to integrate their schools, but we neglected to build independent educational structure. Now, let me be clear. I understand why immigration happened. After segregation and legal discrimination, Black Americans wanted equal access and opportunities that our tax dollars help support. That is understandable. But somewhere along the line, brothers and sisters. Now, I'm going to interject right here on what he's saying. Universities can change standards. That's why political priorities shift whenever demographics change. If you do not control the institution, you're always vulnerable to the institution.
Facts.
Now, here comes another uncomfortable truth. The civil rights movement was fought primarily by Black Americans.
Facts.
Black people bled for it. Black people died for it.
Facts.
Black families sacrificed for it.
Facts.
The Civil Rights Act, voting rights protections, the battles after Dred Scott, the 14th Amendment struggle.
Facts.
See, these fights were directly tied to conditions of our ancestors, the formerly enslaved Black Americans. But over time, many of those protections became expanded to broader minority politics and immigration frameworks where Black Americans were no longer the central focus. Now, let's stay logical.
Facts. That is a fact. All our hard work has been went to the Latinos, to them illegal immigrants. And they died, bled, got hosed down with water hoses, bit by dogs, died for it. And those same rights that we fought for, our ancestors fought for, have been pushed. Affirmative action, DEI, white women got that. They the number one recipient of that, not us. Everybody else benefited on our blood, sweat, and tears. And then the NAACP gonna say, give up your SEC scholarships and money for redistricting. Are you out your mind? That's life-changing wealth for young black athletes at 18 years old, and give up their education for what? For the Illuminati black gatekeepers? Fuck y'all.
Emotional Negroes. This is not attacking immigrants. This is not about denying other groups' rights. This is about recognizing that Black Americans never fully secured independent economic power before the political focus
Facts,
extended outward to other
therapy.
people.
Facts.
And while other groups built business systems, family wealth structures, land ownership, economical pipelines, educational coalitions, economic coalitions, many Black communities became dependent on a political system without building enough economic leverage. This is why we are in the condition we are in, Black America.
Facts.
Politics without economics creates dependency.
Facts.
And dependency always weakens our negotiation power as Black people. The reason dependency continues because emotional politics became profitable for Black leadership. Rage became profitable. Victimhood has become profitable. Political fear has become profitable for Black elites and Black leadership. And too many gatekeepers learned how to monetize Black anger without solving Black problems. Every election cycle, same formula. Fear, emotions, racial tension, emergency, language like democracy is at stake. The other side hates you. We gotta get out the vote. We gotta be more loyal to the Democratic Party. But for decades, where are the institutions? Where is the Black manufacturing strategy from the NAACP, Urban League, National Action Network, Black Lives Matter, and all other Black so-called civil rights organizations? Where is the agricultural strategy from the NAACP, Urban League, National Action Network, and all other Black so-called civil rights organizations? Where is the Black banking network?
I'm gonna interject again because when he's asking this question, your face, dude.
Clips of my podcast. So the AI structure. And the dangerous part is this: emotionally dependent people are easier to politically control. Now, I want to talk about another issue. Too many wealthy Black elites are deeply tied to white corporate systems. It's nice. They like to say, I'm the first to invest $3 billion into a white company or be part of a structure that is a white company. I saw one sister online said a Black woman invested $3 billion into, I think, a professional team, but she invested into a white structure.
That part. Gatekeepers.
Shout out to the brother.
Hey, he broke that down. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button. It's going to be a part 2. Good night.